Welcome back to the Sea All Life. We're so glad you joined us today because we have a great trawler tour to show you. This time, it's a DeFever 45 Pilothouse and you're gonna love it. Let's go see it now. Hey y'all, welcome to the Sea All Life. I'm Andrea, this is Tom, and we have two pups. We're a couple of Texas transplants living the empty nest life to the fullest. For us, that's living part-time on our 44-foot DeFever trawler in San Diego. Our hope is that as you join us on our dreams and adventures, we'll inspire you to discover your own. Hey Sea All Gang, I'm excited today to introduce you to Ash.
Hi.
And Ash owns this amazing DeFever 45, and tell us a little bit about it, Ash.
It's a 2004 45-foot DeFever Pilothouse.
All right. And how long have you owned it?
A year and a half. I purchased in Seattle, in Union Lake, super neat area, and we cruised to Salon Islands a couple of weeks, shake it down, and make sure it was in good shape and ready for the trip. And I believe it was about a 1,300-mile trip from Port Angeles to Long Beach.
Okay. So Ash, I want you to tell us about the crazy experience you've ever had on this boat.
Okay, well, we left Port Angeles, I believe it was on the 3rd of September, and had read and heard that it's best to get off the coast, and if the weather's good, then just keep going and run with it as far as you can. And that's what we did. We went about 50 miles off the coast and started heading south. The weather got rough and got progressively worse, so after about 2.5 days, we decided to come in. It was 9 to 11 foot swells, I think about 6 seconds apart. It was super rough, kind of scary. We were all a little bit unnerved with the boat. Did a great job. It was doing what it did, and we just kind of hung in there and hung on, you know. And myself, my girlfriend, and my son, my girlfriend Raquel, and my son, he's 30. So I had some really good hands, but we're all, you know, new at this, and I'd say if it wasn't such a good boat, we probably wouldn't have made it.
Well, it sounds like a pretty scary experience. You mentioned to me that you were in 9 to 11 foot swells. I can't even fathom what that looks and feels like. It must have been terrifying at times.
Yeah, for sure, yeah, it was, yeah, exhausting as well, yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that with us. Well, let's get to the tour.
Okay, for sure. So this is the aft deck, and it's a very comfortable area. It's usually out of the weather and the wind, and it's got a great gate on the transom. It's got a nice functional swim deck and a ladder, which is obviously great for swimming. It's got a little shower here for rinsing off. Also installed a DC plug in there so I can hang my fish lights off when I'm messing around. It's got a sink and an ice maker, and just a real comfortable area to sit and have drinks or whatever, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah, I wanted to say that I love trawlers. I think they're just very comfortable. It's a really great platform. It's economical to run, which is really important.
We love trawlers too.
Yeah, I mean, if you had to burn $1,000 in fuel to go to Catalina Island and back, that would really just take the fun out of it for me. So, you know, after the initial investment of the boat itself, I just feel like it's just a really good functional platform, very comfortable footprint. And I love the woodwork and the joinery that they have in a lot of them. I think it was just a really well-made boat, and I saw it after. This is one of the brands I really like, but as you can see, it's just a comfortable salon and very functional. You got suede couches, very nice. Heating and air, nice little galley here, of course. It's got all your basic stuff in it. Just pretty much everybody's got the same in the galley, but it's just a good little functional work area. I do have a trash compactor, which I didn't think was necessary before, and was thinking of removing it, putting something else there, but I realized how nice it is, because I can get a week's worth of garbage in there with 2 people, so that's really cool. Because
I don't think I've ever been on a boat that had one, and I can see how it would be convenient, especially when you're out.
Yeah, it's awesome because, you know, 2 people and a week's worth of garbage, not including beer bottles, of course. It's just, you know, it's really handy, because I used to have like bags and bags of garbage up, and, you know, I'd stow it up on the upper deck. This boat, I don't really have that problem. You know, I'm able to really contain everything a lot better. But I love the trash compactor, super nice.
Great.
Pilothouse is one of my favorite rooms in the boat. I can dock this boat, cruise, and see everything. I'm in the weather, out of the weather, whatever I want. On the really nice days when I have these doors open, I can feel the breeze and not be in the sun, and I just really like it. And when the weather's not good, I close the doors and I have the stereo going, and it's just a really pleasant area. You know, I'm out of the weather, I'm totally protected. I really feel like it's an absolute luxury compared to being stuck up on my fly bridge with my isinglass rattling for hours, and I'm just noise fatigued and sick of it, and alone because everybody else goes downstairs in the warmth and the heat and the quiet. So it's super cool. But you know, it's got bound stern thrusters.
We don't have those, and that's nice.
Yeah, it is super nice. But this boat, you know, I'm new at boating. You know, I don't have a lot of experience, but I'll tell you what, it just seems like this boat is so user friendly. It's so easy to dock and maneuver, and I don't even really use my thrusters very much, but it's nice to have. It handles so well just with the props. You know, it's just a really good boat. You know, it's easy to do. It's kind of like a boat for dummies. You know, boating for dummies.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and the watch berth is super nice. I didn't really see that being as that functional until I had one, and now I love it because, like, me and my girlfriend Raquel, I'll be sitting here standing watch and watching the instruments and you know, on autopilot, of course, and she can take a nap, and then I'll lay up there and take a little nap, and she'll watch, and it's just really nice to be able to be up here and see everything, and a lot of good napping going on up here.
That's
so
awesome.
I really like it a lot.
That's great.
Yeah.
And do you out do much fishing?
I try. I'm not a very good fisherman. I should have spent the money at the grocery store buying fish, but you know, I'm kind of stubborn and I'll just keep trying. But I don't have a lot of luck. It's more out of just not knowing what I'm doing. But I keep going at it. I'll get there eventually.
Okay.
It's a little messy, but you know, the whole boat's very lived in and being used. So anyway, I got this in Bellingham, brand new for $16,500.
Nice.
It's the Bullfrog boat. It's a good homemade boat. The guy literally built it. Caulk on it was still wet when I got it, so it was like literally fresh out of the shop. And it's got a 40 horsepower Tohatsu fuel injected motor, which has been a good motor. It's got lots of power, but it's, you know, it's a good boat. And I thought it was at a good price point, you know, for a newer boat. I had an older dinghy on my last boat and got stranded a couple times and rebuilt the carburetor, and it was just a hassle. And I thought, you know what, I do not want to deal with that kind of thing when I'm out on a little boat like that. And also I got enough work to do on a regular boat. So
that's a good point.
Anyway, I was looking for a new boat at a decent price. I believe I found it.
Yep.
And then I've got a Viking 6-person life raft here, self-riding,
Oh, wow.
fully contained, certified for 5 years. So it's got like another 4 years on it before it needs to be recertified. Got my E-Perb in here, ditch bag. Anyway, a little messy right now, but you know, my crane davit, which lowers obviously the tender motorcycles, which are over there. This is something that I wish I'd had on my trip down, was the searchlights and an air horn that will knock people off paddle boards. So yeah, I had a little electric Sea Dog on there that put out this little kind of burp sound, and so I used a handheld horn when I needed it, and this horn is absolutely phenomenal. It's super loud. Maybe I'll honk it for you.
Okay.
So it'll piss off the neighbors.
Alrighty.
But cool, yeah, I installed them and they work great.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the guest stateroom, and it has a 1.5 bunk on the bottom, a single bunk on top that does fold up if you want to. My buddy's staying in here, so it's lived in right now. But has great storage, great cabinets, closets like crazy in this boat. Closets behind here and here, hanging closets. I have a washer dryer here. It works very well. My girlfriend loves to run that thing day and night. And I don't know, it's a little unrelated, but right over here I have a built-in vacuum as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Pretty handy.
I would like one of those, please.
Really nice built-ins. This is a little desk top that will drop down if I were to stay in here, and maybe if I were to charter the boat, or if somebody needs to put a computer down here and do something. But
that's pretty cool.
nice to have for sure.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite rooms. I spent a lot of time down here especially when I first got it. I pulled the heat exchangers. I had an estimate to have somebody do it, and when we hauled the boat out, the captain they had hired to run the boat on the sea trial didn't close the through hauls, so I lost my prime on my Jenny, which I didn't know, and I didn't know that was a thing. So when we fired up the Jenny, the impeller ran dry, smoked the impeller, and it shut off on its own, thank goodness, because I didn't know any better. Thought that I had a plug through haul. So I dove under the boat several times and tried to find the plastic bag or whatever was in there and just couldn't locate it, and took a shop vac and undid the hose and blew it from the other side and was just like, what is going on? And some old smart sailor on the dock said, oh, you lost your prime. That's what happened. So since that happened, I was, I started digging into I had to pull the heat exchanger to get the pieces of impeller out of there, and they were dirty and needed to be cleaned out and pressure tested. So I ended up starting with the Jenny and read the manuals on these motors, which again are 4045 TFM 50s. They're 4-cylinder John Deere's. Their burn rate's about 2.3 gallons an hour per motor at 2,000 RPM. And they'll get a better fuel economy at 1850, but I'd like to run it at 2 because, I don't think you should treat your motors too good. I think you should run them hard, and that's, I think, is pretty modest, really. I was talking to a guy who owned some of these in his charter fleet, and he said they run them at 23 or 24, which I think is too much. But anyway, I could get a little bit better fuel economy, but I can do, it's usually 8 knots, around 8 knots, but we get up to 9, if the weather's right and the current and the wind's in the right direction, and then high 7s if we're going into it, and have a lot more resistance on the boat. But anyway, I did the heat exchangers, changed some hoses. I bought replacement hoses because this is all John Deere, so anything that is like a reduction hose isn't something you can just go buy at a marine store. I went and bought 2 of them, so I have a new one on the motors and then a backup in case I have a blow hose, and I can't just go to a marine store and buy it. I have a backup for anything that would be difficult to get, so we're good to go. And it's been just good, real nice functional engine room. I can reach everything pretty good, and I do my own oil changes and minor repairs, and so.
Awesome.
Anyway, it's a
All right.
good room.
Thanks.
This is the master stateroom, very comfortable. It's got beautiful wood, which I love, just the warmth, tons of cabinets and hanging areas, and again, all lit. Very nice, louvered, so you get air flow through there and you don't get that mustiness in your clothing. But there's just so many cabinets and little clever spots to store things. They just really utilized everything, and I love the quality of the built-in furniture. It's just really neat. And then I have obviously a lady's makeup table. I'm not sure what the proper name for it is, but
I call it a vanity.
a vanity, there you go. Yep, and obviously closets like crazy.
Yeah. It's really nice, and the wood on the sides here is very pretty.
Yeah, I do. It's beautiful. It's warm. I really like that.
Yeah.
I think it really makes the room very comfortable rather than the white Formica,
Mm-hmm.
It's like an old boat. I have drawers that are kept, drawers down here. It's just super nice.
All right.
I only have one head on this boat, and when I say only, I guess I like that because I'd rather have one good functional head than 2 really small heads, or a small V-berth, or a small guest area and a wet head. And so anyway, it's just a really good, super big shower. It's got a bench in there. You can stand in there, turn around, wash yourself properly, and not be jammed up. And we got a ton of hot water, 20-gallon water heater, 40-gallon black water, 260-gallon fresh water, and 2 250-gallon fuel tanks. So tons of hot water.
That's nice.
Yeah, we haven't really run out yet. The vacuum flush as well. Portuguese bridge, I love this. It's something I really wanted to when I had the boat along with the Pilothouse, just because it looks really cool for one thing. And but it's when you're at sea, this is really nice. It feels very secure. I have this large, bulkhead here, and you don't feel like you're gonna hang. You got to hang on. It feels very secure, and it's very nice to have. And like I said, it's super cool looking. A great bow area, nice spacious area.
Wow, this is a huge bow.
Yeah.
It really is.
Some of the things I like about this boat is the gates, port and starboard side gates, as well as the one on the transom. Super nice, very functional, very safe. And then I used to actually have to jump over the rail. It was either you climb on the swim deck and enter through the stern, or jump the rail. And this is just really nice. I love the gates on this. So, and then the very high hull in the boat. It's just, you know, if you look at the bow, it's very high up out of the water, and I've been told that that's very handy as far as being seaworthy. So, and I would agree that it is absolutely. Anyway, just got a real cool look to it. You know, it's a pretty boat.
It is, indeed. Wow, beautiful boat. You want to share about your motorcycles?
Yeah, we got the Honda Monkeys here. This is my buddy's. This is mine. And I purchased it. He turned me on to him. It was his idea. It's something he's been eyeballing for a while. But I was like, oh, this one's that's perfect. You know, it's got a 125cc motor. It does about 50 miles an hour. And they're light and small. And I load them up on the boat deck with the davit. So when I get somewhere, I can unload this. I have e-bikes as well in the Lazarette, but it's obviously better than that.
Awesome. Not every day you see this, huh? Ash, thanks so much for letting us tour this gorgeous boat. It's really obviously so well built and it's so beautiful. And I'm glad you came to visit San Diego with your boat. What is your boat's name?
Magoo, and I'm out of Long Beach, Shoreline Marina.
Okay.
And the boat is listed through Seacoast Yachts, Tim Hagen,
wow.
for sale, and if anybody's interested.
Okay, hey, if anyone wants a really nice, beautiful, seaworthy DeFever, this is your boat.
Very clean. No water in the bilges, no leaks in the motors.
All right.
Everything works as it should.
Well, thanks again, Ash, and hope you have a safe trip back to Long Beach.
Absolutely. Thank you.
See y'all soon.
All right. Bye.